The overwhelming number of contestants were young new moms who underwent a bunch of operations and procedures, which is going to be hard for these women who are used to handling everything at home alone and raising these kids to manage these things. I mean, even after like a nose job, you're not supposed to pick up anything for three months or so, at least over like 40 pounds. Imagine if you have like a kid.
As a child, I was kind of tomboyish. Even on my wedding night, I just never felt sexy. I really saw my body change after I had my children. I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And I could pick apart so many features of my body that I don't like. My nose, my thighs are the biggest they've ever been. I never felt real feminine.
Imagine spending 3 months isolated from loved ones and then undergoing 20 cosmetic procedures and then having the entire world watch it and shape their opinions. One reviewer called this show ghastly, misogynistic, and an abomination. It convinces women their self-worth is wrapped up in how they look, then tell all but one, sorry, you're still not good enough. Highlighting that this show does end in a pageant, so then there is one winner at the end of the day, so then, everyone else is still a loser. The critical disgust for the show was almost as high as the ratings, people calling it hurtful and a repellent, even by reality's constant plummeting standards. One person added, I feel like the women who get the surgery are all starting to look the same. It's scary to age naturally, but I think it's the only way to go. Which I do want to highlight that part. They do look very similar. I mean, it's the same surgeon doing a lot of the same work back to back. He's probably giving them all like look-alike noses. Cindy Engel, another contestant from season 1, said she believes there was mounting pressure from the show's team to continue getting more work done to her body, saying, I really didn't know I could say no to some of the procedures being done. Which I get that, like you just are, I told you. Belinda was also featured on season 1, and she's given us a detailed account of what she went through and how the entire process worked. 28-year-old Belinda was up watching The Price is Right when she scrolled across the bottom of her screen and saw an ad. She applied to be on the Swan. 4 months after the initial casting in Las Vegas, she was flown to LA. 2 months after that, cameras showed up at Belinda's home to film B-roll. The next morning, producers called and said, get ready to go, you're leaving in 2 days. Belinda said she was so excited for this opportunity. She actually hired a lawyer to look over the show's contract, and the lawyer told her, don't sign this, but she was like, you know what? I'm going. Here's a little bit of her story. She said, I had to leave my entire life behind for 4 months. She sent $500 a week, which she was given on the show, to go and pay for some of the bills. She claims the first 2 weeks were filled of appointments, surgeons, dentists, LASIK appointments, and then they filmed all of them in granny panties in front of a green screen and went through and said exactly what they're going to do to them.
My name is Belinda. I'm 28 years old. I used to have the perfect body, and I used to be pretty, and I used to be able to walk down the street and have guys chasing me, and not having that now, it makes me feel horrible. Unfortunately, I ended up with the wrong guy. I've been married 2 times. I won't want to talk to any of the men from my past because they're not good people. I just kind of ended up in several abusive relationships, alcoholic, drug user, something along those lines. My dream for myself is to learn to know that I deserve someone to treat me good. When I look in the mirror, I see really a big fat cow.
Not the big fat cow, Belinda, sweetie. Oh, she's just like, a little bit damaged, but nothing Terry Dubrow can't scalpel up. She claims she went under 2 procedures, the first one being 13 hours long, and then another one a week later. She said it was so difficult to recover, but then also them like unplugging the TVs, like not allowed to have magazines, and only calling their family once a week for 10 minutes long, and keeping it recorded for the show was difficult. We'd sneak into each other's rooms to hang out, but otherwise everywhere we went we had a chaperone. Basically, we were trapped in our own world while the show aired, so we had no clue how different the final product was from the show we were believed that we were filming. So they had no idea how the public was going to receive it, which is kind of like what happens when you sign up for a show. Up until the last moment, for instance, we didn't even know there was a pageant. That was never pitched to us. We all thought we had an equal chance at the tools to better ourselves, and then at the end we'd be showing off how much we improved. But no, there's a competition. Great. We were all good friends and got along wonderfully, but the public would have never gotten that impression because the show was edited in a way that made it seem like it was competitive. Superficial women who were were mean and catty to each other. She says some procedures like the eyebrow lift and the cheekbone operation she wished she pushed back on. She said, I wasn't unhappy with my face structure, so I didn't need it. I don't even know why they suggested it, because if you look at pictures of me before, I had beautiful eyebrows and eyes. Today, you could see 3 vertical scars on my head, which are made worse by the hair loss in those areas.
The one thing I've learned in my time here is that beauty comes from the inside, and I'm just happy. I'm happy with who I am right now.
Okay, I mean, I think I could see what she means by the cheeks too, because I feel like they probably wanted to make her cheeks look a little bit bigger to like balance out the lower part of her face, but they didn't account for weight loss and then also tightening up her neck, so she doesn't really need that volume there. I don't know. Belinda shares that to this day, she doesn't talk about this experience. Many people in her life don't know about it. Tanya, one outspoken contestant from season 1, who we've spoken about several times, had opened up to Vice about her experience, saying that she was scolded by one of the plastic surgeons for not wanting a nose job, saying that I don't think I won the competition because in one episode, an expert said the biggest problem with Tanya was her long nostrils, saying that she has a sad look that requires liposuction on her chin, a breast lift, and a total body lipo. Kelly, who was on the show at 28 years old, her mom tried to tell her, do not go on the show. I'm not trying to be mean, but you're not ugly enough for them to take you. Kelly recalled her response to the reveal, this is ridiculous. What have you done with me? After being told by producers they needed a stronger, more positive reaction, she squealed and began to weep on cue to keep them happy. Returning to her hotel that evening, she said she was horrified with her new appearance, which is so scary to imagine.
I want to be a swan because I would love to look in the mirror one day and be able to be happy with what I see. I would never think anyone would be looking at me and think that I'm pretty. If I could look into the mirror at the end of all of this and be happy with who I am and what I've achieved, then I've won.
What have you done with Kelly? Where is she? How do you feel?
I've never been able to look in the mirror and think that I was pretty, or I always found something wrong with me.
Now, because there's been so much controversy surrounding the show, the creator had spoken out. Nelly defended the Swan, claiming getting a nip and tuck is the same as getting your car a new paint job. People in America spend a lot of money, she said. If your wall in your house is falling apart and chipping, you fix it. If your car is messed up, you get a new paint job. Why would you walk around after having 3 kids with a stomach or boobs that are bothering you when you could fix them? That is quite a statement from the creator, and honestly, I wouldn't expect any less from someone who thought of this show. I mean, to even come up with a concept is pretty wild. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.